Hello. Hey, y'all. I have to start out like that with a laugh. My anxiety is so real, so real. I don't think anybody will believe that every time I hit that live button, I am as anxious as the very first time I pushed it. But we persevere and we push on. Hello, my name is Sandra, and welcome to my channel From Lack to Legacy. On this channel, we're all things money, investing, mindset, and we sprinkle in a little travel from time to time. Probably way more heavy on the travel as of late. So that's who we are here. If this is your first time, then welcome, welcome, welcome. Can y'all hear that airport? That's how much travel, that's how much I love travel. I literally can see the airport. I can see planes landing all day. I can see them taking off. But if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. When you come in, hit the like button. If this is your first time, please subscribe to the channel. It is so encouraging to see the growth of this channel. It's a relatively new channel. Y'all know it's just hit 2 years. And I can't say thank you enough to my sisters who have been growing with me and rocking with me and letting me grow on this platform. So thank you all. I hope you can hear me. If you can't hear me, hey, Mira Love. Marilyn is back. Hey, sister. And Marilyn reminded me of something. If y'all notice, I'm going to start with a quote today. If you go back and look at any of the old videos, the very first ones, hey, D, I would start all the videos off with an abundance quote or an affirmation. And so Marilyn reminded me of our humble beginnings, and she was like, bring that back, because I think that is at the base of everything I talk about is this sense of gratitude, you all. Seriously, I am I'm so grateful to be living this life. I am so grateful that you all are here. And I understand that gratitude unlocks abundance. And so the quote for today, hey Maya, the quote for today is enough is abundance to the wise. And an affirmation or an abundance quote, it doesn't have to be long and elaborate. It just has to be true. And so for me, I know that this is true. Enough. And not in the sense of settling, like, no, we got enough. Not that, but that every day that I wake up and the sun is shining and I'm breathing and my kids are okay and there's running water, baby, that's enough. That's enough. It's plenty. What more? It's more than enough, to be honest with you. It's plenty. And I think when we shift our minds to start to see that we really are equipped with everything that we need to be successful, child, it changes everything. It really takes the edge off. I think abundance mindset is the antithesis to capitalism and consumerism. And the more of a minimalist I become, the more I really do recognize all the abundance that I've always had it, always had enough. You can only wear one pair of shoes at a time. You can only drive one car at a time. You can only live in one house at a time. And so I want to start us out with that enough is abundance to the wise. And so that's it for today, y'all. All right, y'all. Bye. See y'all. Hey, C Tim. Hey, Zakia. I love my friends. I'm telling you, there are no subscribers in this chat ever. This is like a meeting of our friends. And so I'm not going to hold y'all. Hey, Brenda. I'm not going to hold y'all. I'm technologically challenged, but I have my notes. I have learned to help ease my own anxiety by being prepared. And that's some of the stuff I'm going to talk about tonight. I have let's see, I think I'm going into year 3 of having broken away from the matrix, because that's what I see it as. I have broken away from the matrix. I left the US. Oh, shoot. It's got to be coming up on 3 years. In November, I'll be going into year 4 because I spent a year and a half in Mexico. I will have been here in Southeast Asia for a year and a half. So, yep, starting in November the 7th, I will be going into my 4th year. Hey, Michelle. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share the channel. So, I'm going to be doing something a little different tonight because really what I want to do is I want to give more value in in these live streams, because if you're going to take an hour or two out of your day, it should be something of value, whether you can get it all right now at this sitting when we're together live, or if you have to come back to it. And so I'm going to try to do a little slide presentation. The teacher in me could not resist. As soon as I learn something new technologically, I'm trying to incorporate it. Hello, my dear sister Yvette, how are you? Hey, Sharon. Oh, I see some new names in the chat. So don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. All right, so without further ado, I'm not gonna even hold y'all. You have to reflect. And I've been reflecting over my 3 years out in these travel streets. And there are some things that I knew, coming into the journey, and there were probably a lot more things that I didn't know. Hey, Winsome, there's Big Up Yourself. Oh my God. We're going to shout the channels out in the end, because when I tell y'all there are fabulous women in that chat that are doing wonderful work, and you need them on your journey. I am telling you, and I'm going to touch on the 4 things that are keeping us home. So if you aspire to take a sabbatical, slow travel the world, I have made this word up. Maybe that's not. If you desire to expat or expatriate, or to leave the U.S. or leave your home country, whatever the reason is, if you're ready to take your body and put it in another physical space abroad, then there's some things I want to share with you that would have been so helpful had I had it all at once. Because I got it in little dribs and drabs, like maybe most of us, we cobbled it together. I watched a video here, I watched a video there, and I have to shout out Stephanie Perry because she has been a bastion of information. Hey, Joanna. Hey. So what I want to do is offer this offering as an overview of the 4 things I know that had me in a chokehold before I was able to get off the couch and get outside. And so let me just consult with my notes. I know what they are, though. The first one is the fear of the unknown. Fear. I was gripped by fear. So let me go ahead and roll through the slideshow real quick, y'all. Let me share this screen. And if y'all can't hear me or anything, let me know. So share. Okay. Can you all see that? And then I'll move this banner out of the way so that, let me see, so you can see and hear everything. Oh, well, I'll read it. And I'm just going to go through these real quickly. Let's see. So the first one is the fear of the unknown. The second thing that was at the top of my list is one of those things that was just a consideration the whole time I was trying to get outside. Finances. I mean, who are we kidding? It is not free to do this. It is not free to break away. It is not free to make changes. And so I want to go over some of the things that I wish I had known ahead of time to kind of ease that financial tension, or my concerns around finances. Family and personal responsibilities. I'm sure I could not be the only one. We all have families. And so I was very concerned about, my children, leaving my kids, responsibility as a grandparent, all of those things. And so I want to talk about that too. And then another thing was, again, like the lack of information and support. There were so many people who did not understand what I was trying to do. They did not understand, what's the big deal? Why do you have to leave? Why is that a thing? And so I want to shed some light and help with that. Let me see if I can change this view, you guys, and see. Okay, that still puts me in the way. Let me try this view. There we go. That's better. Okay, way better. Okay, one second. I'm gonna go back to the very first slide. I need this to I need the slides to keep me straight. That's the real God's honest truth. So see, Tim, I'm trying. If y'all want to know a fabulous, fabulous teacher, and I just have to stop for a commercial break right here. If anybody is interested in learning how to trade, you have to get with my sister, Canisia. She's the trading Niji. I'm just saying, because when I tell you together, and I taught for almost 30 years, so y'all know I wouldn't even lie to you about a teacher. I'm very serious when it comes to that. She is the teacher extraordinaire. So if you're looking to get into trading options, please check her out, and we'll get her link and stuff in the chat. Nicole says, been in my feelings about some stuff this week. So nice to assemble with my people. Girl, don't we need it? We need that. Hold on one second, y'all, because I think my allergies are starting to act up. Hold tight. This is not ladylike, and it's definitely not demure. But and there's nothing worse than being fearful of being on camera. I'm telling y'all, fear is the enemy. So we're going to start right there with fear, because fear is the enemy. Fear will have you caught up, paralyzed. It will have you second guessing yourself. And so I want to start with fear because, again, a lot of this channel is about mindset. And fear is a construct of the mind. It is the mind's way. I've heard it explained like this. It is the brain's way of keeping us safe. Like if we didn't have fear, why wouldn't we just walk to the edge of a cliff? You know what I'm saying? But your fear, a healthy sense of fear, keeps us safe. But it's when that fear takes over and when that fear runs rampant, when we don't have something, the antidote to fear. And I'm going to tell you what helped me is being prepared. It's no different than preparing for these live streams. The more prepared I am, the fear kind of dissipates, because if all else fails, I know that everything that I want to say to you is right here on this paper. I can always go to my research. I can always go to the things that I prepared. I'm not out here just winging it. And I think the same is true. Hey, Nicole. I think the same is true for when you're prepping to get out of the house. The first thing you're going, and if you don't suffer from this fear, if you're going out boldly, God bless your soul, sister, because that was not the case for me. I cried all the time. So if there's a crier in the camp, if you cry, if you second guess, if you shaky, trust me, all of that is a part of the journey. So if you're at the beginning of this, and so many of my sisters have already left the house or are maybe a little further into the process. But if you're at the beginning of the process and you are afraid, oh, I think I'm freezing up. If you are afraid, trust me, that is normal. The fear is normal. So don't beat yourself up about it. I say embrace the fear. So the first step is going to be acknowledge that, yes, I am riddled with fear. The second step is going to be don't run from the fear. The third step is the second step really is the same. Embrace the fear. Just be okay with it. Just understand that that's a part of the journey. It's normal. You are not alone. Mary Love is sending me a message. Hold on, y'all, because my sister keeps me straight. So far, so good. Okay, great. So in my preparation to get out of the house, because y'all, when I look back at it, it was lightning fast in a way. I had been prepping like the year before. My first time out of the house, I went to Spain, and it didn't go well because I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared. I had prepared all the paperwork. I had the plane tickets, I had the accommodations and all that stuff in order, but I wasn't prepared emotionally. I wasn't prepared in terms of a support system, none of the undergirding that you're going to need to go out and be successful at this thing, or at least to enjoy it. And so I want to help you. Hey, Cassandra. Hey, Peaceful Existence. I think I greeted everybody. I said hi to Nicole. And if anybody slipped in here and I didn't greet you, hello. Greetings. And if you're viewing this in the future, greetings if you're catching this in a replay. But we were talking about the number one thing that keeps us from moving forward. And it doesn't even have to be your move abroad plan. It could be in any major change. And I'm telling you, y'all look it up. Don't take my word for anything. Do some work, some self reflection, do some reading. All the psychologists tell us that fear is a way that the brain keeps us safe. And so it's normal. Embrace it. Rock with it, roll with it, look her in the face and be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. We know you here. We know you riding shotgun, but you're not running the show. And so the way that I have been able to overcome my fear is simply by researching. And I'm talking about for real thorough research. When I tell y'all the research that it took to prep for this video, I got pages, pages and pages and pages. But when I have that, even if I get here, like out in the middle of this stream and I get stuck, I know what I got it. I got it. Don't worry about it. We got a backup plan. I've got everything that I need and want to cover here. And so I'm going to say to you, the first step is going to have to be research. And where do you do that? Check out YouTube videos, blogs. You want to be in forums. You want Facebook groups. You want WhatsApp groups. Number one, you want to start talking to people and letting them know. Well, we're going to talk to the right people, because as soon as you sniff out a naysayer, I got a slide for them at the end. As soon as you sniff out a naysayer, that's the person who sows doubt. That's the person who questions your every move. That's the person who, you know them. It's a vibe. It's a whole vibe. You'll be able to tell when you're with your tribe because you'll feel lifted. And those people who are constantly bringing you down, if you feel even more shaky when you leave their presence, you already know that's a naysayer. Okay. So we're gonna put them way in the back of the auditorium. They do not get a front row seat for this journey. They do not, because they will derail your plan faster than anything. So in your research, trying to combat this fear, you want to connect with like-minded people right out the gate. So anybody here who's aspiring to leave, everyone I think is aware of Exodus Summit, but there are so many expat groups for Black women. And I won't start to get into it because every time I start to name them, I leave somebody out. And I have so many friends who are in the space. And I don't know what country that you're interested in, but the top 5 are like Mexico, Portugal, Panama, some parts of Africa. Ghana's pretty popular, and Southeast Asia is becoming more popular as well. So if you're interested in those 5, for sure, there's a wealth of information on the internet. Start there. Just start researching. And I would also say, get you a folder. That next one is create a detailed plan. Like Trello, you can set up. If you're like me, I have to have a notebook. It doesn't exist if I don't write it down in my trusty notebook. I'm old school. I got to have pencil and paper. But if you are a tech baby, get some online way of organizing your research. You want to create a folder, and there's several folders I would create. One for research on the country, one about finance. I would get one where I organize all of my support groups, visa information. And so you want to start out researching, but you want to keep that stuff organized because you can get overwhelmed so easily because there's some moving pieces to this thing. So you want to get organized, whether you have 5 folders or whether you're doing this virtually. I don't care, get you a Pinterest board. I'm talking about, we got old school, low tech and high tech. A Pinterest board is relatively low tech. Start pinning your ideas, but just have a way to organize yourself. It's going to help you. And then connect with current expats. That's folks like me. We have several expats in the group. Nicole, we're here. And when I tell you people are willing to share, they are willing to share. Hi, Miss LGC. You're welcome. It's my pleasure to share with you because I don't want you guys to have to, run into some of the pitfalls I ran into. I was all over the place. I made a whole run for it. I ran to Spain, so unprepared, cried every day. Loved it. Don't get me wrong. What's not to love? I was right across the street from the Mediterranean Sea. I was drinking wine on the beach every day. I was having a great time, but I wasn't prepared and I didn't have a community. And so everybody knows that story. It was lonely. I don't even know if it was so much lonely as I just felt isolated. That's what it was. I was operating in isolation because I didn't have a community. And so I want to give you every opportunity to get out the house and stay out the house if that's your desire. And not only be out and stay out, but to be happy while you're out. Hey, Katrina. So you're going to create a plan. You're going to find a way to organize all of that stuff. You're going to connect with current expats and don't be afraid to ask questions. Most of us are more than willing to share. I have found that this tribe is some of the most giving women, some of the most knowledgeable women, and they're more than happy to help. And so when I say conduct informational interviews, you're just casually asking. I mean, and then there are people who actually do this as a paid service. So it's okay. It is okay to pay for the support you need. Trust me, pay a little on this side before you get out there. And on the back end, it'll more than pay for itself by saving you, some of the missteps, because the missteps were the things that cost me the most money out on the road. We're not going to even discuss the mistakes. Thousands of dollars in mistakes. And I don't want you to do that. So you're going to connect with current expats, make friends in the chat. That's why you come to these things. Ladies in the chat have been out in the world. Almost all of these ladies. If you're interested in going somewhere, so introduce yourself in the chat. Put down, you don't want to reveal too much information in the chat, but you want to express that you are interested in going here and ask the question in the chat. The chat is a wealth of information. Trust me. This the candy, this the eye candy over here. Where it's really going down is in the chat, because you have at your fingertips there are 33 people watching. 15 of them are in the chat. Utilize that space. Stephanie Perry's chat blessed my soul every time I went to it. Alicia Renice's chat, bless my soul every time I went to one of her lives. So make sure that you are being active there, connecting with current expats. And then practice visualization. This is not something that I did. And I know the power of visualization, but actually see yourself in the space. See yourself on the beach of the Mediterranean Sea, having a glass of wine. If somebody had told me that, had I been able to keep that visual in my mind, it would have probably taken some of the edge off, that fear. But once you start researching your place, wherever it is you decide you want to go, get pictures. You're going to need all the support you can get. And it's not even like this is work. Trust me, after a while, it becomes, it's pleasure, because you really are visualizing yourself in the place that you want to be. And for most of us, nobody here is going to Siberia. Most of us are going to places we want to be. So whether you're going there for the architecture, the food, the history, the culture, whatever it is, start pinning pictures of that. I'm telling y'all, get into it. Immerse yourself in the experience and enjoy the ride. Had I known that, I think I spent more time in dread in those early days, trying to organize all the things, getting rid of the house and selling the stuff. It's just work. And so you become caught up in the work of it. And it really kind of drains you and takes away some of the joy of this new chapter. Don't fall victim to that. Visualize yourself on the beach, wherever it is. Oh, Katrina was in Sri Lanka. Who'd have ever thought it? I'm talking gorgeous places. Put those pictures up, you guys. Enjoy the planning, because if you become mired down in the fear and the details, it feels like drudgery. That's not fun. That's not fun anymore. So we're going to visualize, imagining. For me, my next stop is going to be in Colombia. I cannot wait. They say it's the place of eternal spring. I see myself walking. That's what I really want. I see myself walking in green spaces. I see those big mountains. I see myself eating delicious food that is African inspired, more familiar palate. I see people who look like me. I'm excited. Even though I know it's going to be a whole lot of work transitioning from here to there. And there'll be some time where I'm getting acclimated. I'm excited about this move. And then I will say this, nobody told me this, and it sounds simple, but you definitely want to learn at least some basics. If you're going to France, you want to be able to have basic French. And that's hello, goodbye, please, thank you, transportation words, taxi. You want food words. You're going to need a few number words. It's all that basic stuff. And I promise you, Duolingo has been a lifesaver. And I was recently introduced, y'all know I just started taking language lessons, Thai language lessons with an in-person teacher. And it's really not that expensive. If you don't want to spend money, there are plenty of free language exchange meetups. And a language exchange works like this. Well, I'm a native English speaker. I get with another native speaker, a native Thai speaker, and they want to learn English and I want to learn Thai. And we just exchange, we basically get together and have conversations and we teach each other the language. So you have to have just some basic things. It will make such a difference in how you're moving through the world. I'm telling you, just being able to say hello, it not only helps you navigate more smoothly, but it shows a respect to your host country or your new home country. It shows respect for the locals, to the locals, for their culture and that you're interested and you're not just there, because the rent is less, or you're not just there taking from that place. And here's a quote I found from Nelson Mandela, and it says, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." I should have that on a t-shirt because I was so riddled with fear, y'all. And still, even just doing this, everybody knows I've been totally transparent that I have generalized anxiety, social anxiety, you name it. I got it. And just being able to do this and come here in this safe space with you all, it's me facing that fear. So it's not like fear doesn't crop up, because I tell you, every time I hit that live button, y'all, I'm a bundle of nerves. But I continue to do it. I continue to face it because I'm not going to let anything beat me, and certainly not fear. So just to recap, fear is normal. If you think that's not going to be a part of the journey, girl, you probably not going to get off the couch, because you have to acknowledge the fear. Acting like it's not there is not the answer. Embrace it. It's a part of the journey. Know that we've all experienced it, and equip yourself to combat that fear. And for me, it's being thoroughly prepared. Hey, I'm getting into freedom. Hey, Global Granny. Hey, Pamela. Hey, y'all. I'm so glad y'all could join the live. Let me roll through. If you have a question, put 3 Q's in front of it. Mara Love, can I ask you to post questions? Because my tech thing today is really, trying to manage 5, 6, 17, 25 screens. I'm not going to be able to put the questions up. So Mara Love, if you could post any questions, that would help. Oh, I see that. Listen, I'm telling y'all, we got what we need in the chat. But wait a minute, I was trying to put up Winsome's comment. Visualization clinic coming soon. See, what did I tell you? When the student is ready, the teacher will present itself. When the student is ready, the teacher will definitely show up. I need that. I need to be sitting in with you, Winsome, on this visualization clinic, but I promise you it works. Y'all don't have to believe me. Google all this stuff. I'm telling you, these are research-based. Y'all know I did the research. These are research-based strategies and suggestions. Being prepared helps combat our fear. Being organized helps combat our fear. Being connected to community and like-minded people helps combat that fear and silence that fear. Facing it head on. Visualizing yourself on the other side of the fear. All of those things are going to help kind of quell that part. Because I'm telling you, if you don't deal with it, it's still there. It's just going to be like that little underlining tingle in your chest. At least that's how my fear shows up. It shows up right here in my solar plex. Is that your solar plex? I don't know my chakras, y'all. I really don't. But that's where my anxiety kind of shows up. Not even in my tummy, but in my chest. And being prepared, again, knowing the language, understanding some basic things like the climate where you're going, some of the norms, cultural things, taking off your shoes for me here in Southeast Asia, bowing, and all of those things, it makes your transition a little more seamless. So that's it. We're not going to allow fear to rule us. We're not going to allow fear to keep us on the sofa. We're going to meet that thing head on, and we're going to get in community so that we can deal with that. Okay, So let me get over here and get to the next slide. This is the biggie. This probably should have came first. This one, financial concerns. Oh Lord, who doesn't have financial concerns? I think all of us do. And so I'm no different. The first time I went out, I told y'all I went to Spain. I hadn't sold my house. I was concerned, like, how am I going to, is the salary that they're going to pay me, is that going to be enough where I can, live here, maintain my house? Do I have to go back, sell the house? Whatever your situation is, if you aren't concerned about money, ooh, girl, we need to talk. We need to chat. But for most of us, that is going to be a concern. And so, again, I'm going to always start with the research, like a perfect place to start so that you can, conquer this financial concern head on is going to be research. I did none of this. I did none of this. I went to Spain. I knew how much rents were, but I didn't know anything beside that. I knew what they were going to pay me, and I knew what the rent was. I didn't know anything about food costs, transportation costs. Um, I didn't prep in any way for taxes. None of it. Didn't know. Didn't know. And you can't do what you don't know. So we're going to start again. So here's another folder. Get you a money folder together. And we're going to probably, you need two money folders, I would think. One is for the place that you're going. You want to have all that research there. And then any things that you need to take care of at home, because there are some things that you need to take care of financially at home before you leave. So you're going to, one, start researching the cost of living. And I've given you Numbeo and Expartisan. If you don't know those websites, get there. Numbeo, you can compare cost of living across the world. You're going to put all that stuff in your folder. How much? Create a budget. It doesn't have to be meticulous, because I am not one of those people. It doesn't have to be a meticulous budget, but you should have some idea of what your monthly expenses are going to be. This is the perfect time to reach out to an expat who's already in the space where you want to be. Ask them. Y'all know I tell everybody. I can tell you exactly what it costs me. If you're thinking about coming to Thailand, I can literally live a great life. And I'm not kidding here. I've shown you all the bills. $850 is my operating base, $850 USD a month. So I'm operating anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 a month. And that's what, it's something on my nose. What is that? My nose itching. Does that mean something? Doesn't your nose itching mean something, you all? Is it money? Let it be money, Lord. Let it be good fortune. I don't know. But at any rate, we're talking about finances. Okay. So we're going to research. Again, we're going to get a folder or two. We're going to talk about everything that's going to cost to get there and some things that you might not consider. Like I didn't think anything about transportation costs. You want to also look into any tax implications of the place that you're going to. Don't think that just because you're leaving the U.S., you still have an obligation to pay your taxes unless you renounce your citizenship. And I don't know anybody who's really doing that. You still have an obligation to pay your taxes in the U.S. or handle your tax business. And there may be some tax implications to your receiving country. Never thought about that, y'all. Didn't have a clue. So you want to start to research those things. Put all that stuff in a folder. We're talking about not only quelling your fear. We're going to quell our fears. We're going to quiet that fear down because we're going to be prepared. And we're going to go into this armed with information. So another thing that I had to do while I was home and kind of planning, my quasi planning, was I started to eliminate stuff. Because I guarantee you, unless you're shipping all of your entire life to your your new home country, you're going to be getting rid of some things. Start now. That was one of the tasks nobody prepared me for. It was one of the things that brought me back from off the road because I had to deal with stuff. So, and literally stuff. And you have no idea how much stuff as Americans we have as U.S. citizens. And so start getting rid of the stuff. Start giving things away. I used OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace. I did garage sales. I did I put stuff on my porch, let my neighbors come get it, my kids, whoever wanted it. But I'm telling you now, start to streamline. And you, for me, become getting rid of all of that stuff helped me become more of a minimalist. And when I tell you being free of stuff, baby, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. Somebody said, I heard that itchy hands mean money. Well, let's go with the nose for money. Please, let it be. Let it be. Hey, see, listen, Pamela says, I would love some online decluttering party. Who's with me? You got folks in the chat. You got folks who have done it. And Nicole said, so get with them and you all share your tips. Nicole said, and do not get a storage space. I am here to tell you, don't do it. It's a waste of money. I initially didn't have a storage space. And then y'all know I tell everything. Me and my daughter got into it. She was like, Mommy, your stuff is everywhere. I was like, oh, Lord. So I went and got a storage space. Y'all, for an entire year of the 3 years that I've been out, for 1 year, I had a storage space. It started at $50. Don't you know, before the end of the year, that storage space had crept up to $100 a month. Finally, I just called my brother and told him to clear it out, clear it out, clear it out. Because that is money that you could absolutely be living with. So that is such good advice. Do not, I repeat, if you can help it at all, give away that stuff. It's going to free up space in your mind. It's going to free up what you're responsible for. And I'm telling you, this whole thing with moving abroad or slow traveling or taking a sabbatical, it's about us getting lighter. It's about us having more joy and less stuff. Somebody said, get free of stuff, y'all. It's the truth. It's the truth. I didn't allow enough time. Yep. There it is. And that's what I'm saying, start now. It took me, oh my God, I ain't gonna tell no lie. It took almost 2 years for me to get rid of all of that stuff, to clean that house out. Those closets were chugged, my basement was chugged, my garage was chugged. Get rid of it now. And trust me, and then this is just me speaking for me, there's not one thing that I got rid of that I said, man, I wish I hadn't got rid of that. Not one thing. I have never once in 3 years said, man, I wish I'd have kept that. Whatever it was. No, it's all too much. And there's a video out by a home organizer called It's All Too Much. Y'all look them up. I had the DVD. You know, that's how long it's been. It was a DVD. Okay. So we're going to research our new place. We're going to create 2 folders, one for finances for moving forward, finances that are related to our home country. That's your taxes. And I'm going to say it right here. I don't know. I may have it someplace else. But if you are in a state where you pay state taxes, you might want to consider, before you get out of the U.S., domiciling in a state with no taxes, moving to a state and setting up residency in a state that doesn't have a state tax. I think Texas, Florida, I'm not a tax professional. Y'all know I don't give no money advice, no financial advice. I don't give tax advice. But I'm a resident in my home state. I still have to deal with my state taxes. I could have so easily done that before I left, established residency in another state. And then that's one less thing that you have to worry about when it's tax time. Now you're only responsible for your federal taxes. I will tell you this. I want to say it is Picky Girl Travels the World. She has a video about financial moves you should make. It's either her or Rashida Dow. They have a video about I want to say it's 10 financial moves you should make before you leave the US. Check it out, because she goes into detail exactly about how to establish residency in a no tax state. But y'all hear me. If you're not afraid of AI, I don't even Google anymore. I Google sometimes, most times it's me, Claude, and ChatGPT. They'll get you there. But that's something to consider in terms of streamlining your finances. If you're concerned about how you're going to make money in your receiving country or your new home country, then you might want to explore remote work from anywhere jobs. You might want to freelance. And this is my sweet spot. This is my sweet spot right here, y'all. I love talking about this because I did it. And I was one of those people who had worked in the same career for 30 years. You couldn't tell me I could do anything else. And if you're a teacher in this chat, don't believe it. I have such a heart for all of my teacher friends who are still in the classroom, because when I tell you that's the hardest work on earth, public school teachers are the salt of the earth. They give way more than they'll ever get back, certainly in terms of financial compensation. I was totally brainwashed that, well, you've done this for 30 years. What else can you do? I was that girl, because they tell you that basically to keep you in place. What else you gonna do? Who gonna hire you? You've been in this position for 25 years. Where you gonna go? You 50 years. That is nonsense. I'm speaking to whoever this is for. I don't know who needs to hear this, sister. That is nonsense. Stephanie Perry said it, and I've heard a whole bunch of other people say this. If somebody is paying you top dollar, they're paying you to do that job, there's value in what you do. Whatever it is they're paying you to do, they value that enough to pay you a salary, benefits, and all. Take whatever it is. I don't care if you are a baker. I don't care what it is that you are doing. I was a teacher. Take those skills. I promise you, teachers can organize. Exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. Repackage your skills. Sell it for yourself. Do it for yourself. I know it's scary. It's scary. This journey is not going to be free of fear. I'm telling you, it's going to be some scary spots. Let your sisters hold your hand. Let somebody get with somebody who has done it before you. Watch me. I'm telling y'all, I'm a granny of 4. If I can come out here and repackage those skills, make money at it, you can do it. I promise you. Whether you bake, you crochet, I don't care what it is you do. If somebody paid you to do it on a job, you can repackage that for yourself, monetize your skills. And this is a little PSA. Start a YouTube channel. YouTube is not about YouTube. YouTube is not going to make you rich in the beginning, but you can certainly use it. It is the #1 search engine in the world, YouTube. When people don't Google no more. Between Google AI and YouTube, those are the top 3 search. That's how people get information. People come to YouTube to get questions answered. Be there. Be in the space. Oh, wait a minute. You want to learn about finance? I'm here for you. I'm on YouTube. That's how you find people and connect to people. So start you a YouTube channel. I'm just saying. If somebody with generalized anxiety and social anxiety and all the rest of the anxieties like me can do it, you can absolutely do these things. So monetize your skills, and YouTube is the easiest free publicity that you'll ever be able to get. I mean, it's like marketing, totally free marketing. You get to reach millions, if not billions of people. Cost you nothing. The first way that I got out of the house, and I knew that this is it's not for everybody. And it's not going to be the option that makes you the most money. But consider teaching abroad. It is an easy way for you. It's an easy way for you to get out the house. Many of those teaching programs, you don't necessarily have to have a degree in teaching. You can have a degree. Some may require a degree. Some require that you're just a native speaker. Hold on, y'all know I'm getting hot. Let's see. Some of them require that you just be a native speaker. And so here are some programs that I know of, but there are, for every country, just about every country has an English language program. But NowCap is one of the bigger ones. That's in Spain. JET is the program for Japan. EPIC is the program for Korea. And CIEE, they have multiple locations, but I know I heard CIEE when I was in Spain, but you may be able to go through CIEE and get placed other places. You can always just do a search for Teach English in Abu Dhabi, Teach English in Mexico. And while they may not be high paying jobs, they certainly, some places now in the Middle East, they pay very well. Check it out. I'm just peeking at the chat because I'm nosy. Okay. I'm so intrigued by SMA. I can't wait to go. Oh, y'all know I'm nosy. Girl, get to by SMA, you mean San Miguel. We go. San Miguel is so cute. Oh my God. When I tell you it is storybook, I'm sorry, I had to just take that break. I saw that comment. That place is magical. Now, I will say this because, I love to give all the story. It's not the least expensive place. And there, if you are trying to escape Caucasians, there are a lot of Caucasians there. There are a lot of retired people there. But when I tell you gorgeous, the San Miguel is, I swear to God, a man on a horse, a cowboy rode up beside my Uber. I was like, this is insane. And good food, just everything. And please, please, please check out our good friend, Michelle at Casa Elm. Her place is gorgeous. You will be able to rest there. Yes. I'm telling y'all, we've been. It's amazing. And the sisters there are absolutely warm, and I had a ball. I had a blast. I didn't want to leave, but I had other travel plans beyond SMA. And so I had to get out of there. But if I didn't, oh my gosh, I could have easily spent a month there with Michelle. And baby, she's an excellent cook. She's an excellent cook. Okay, back to the program at hand. Mira Love put the information for CIEE in the chat, but all of those are just a Google search away. But consider it, because oftentimes they will have a housing allowance. It will help you. I think Mara is going to teach in Cambodia. It's an easy way to get your first. It's support. It's a way to go into a new country and not be doing it alone, because the program has all these built-in support. So consider it. Investigate passive income streams like rental properties and investing. I'm telling y'all, get in the stock market. This is another PSA. Y'all know get in the stock market. We're talking, there are two ways you can do it: long-term, short-term investing. Your long-term investing, we're talking at least a year or longer, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Long-term investing. This is not get rich quick, but if you have a lump sum of money at your disposal, please make sure that that money is working for you. I got stories I could tell, but I digress. Put your money to work. If you don't know much about the stock market, get with us. This is what we do. In order to generate income quickly, not quickly, but I will say in the short term, like immediately. You want to make money daily, consider learning to trade. Learning to trade stocks, options, Forex, crypto, whatever your thing is. Consider taking a class. Consider getting with a community to learn that skill. I see a question. Sandra, did you look at apartments in San Miguel? I ain't scared of the Caucasians. I've already decided it's only address. I'll only address them in Spanish. Michelle, I didn't, but Michelle can hook you up. One of the other ladies that was there with me, she went on an apartment tour, and we decided to go to the market instead. Me and one of the other ladies, there were 3 ladies there when I was there with Michelle. And one of the ladies, she took the apartment tour. And in hindsight, I wish I had, but we went to the market, girl, and ate pozole. We had seafood soup, which was, I'm telling you, San Miguel is a contender. Again, it is not the least expensive, but it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we talked about consider teaching abroad, consider tapping into some rental income if you own property, Airbnb. All of those things are possibilities so that you can generate some income. Investing, trading, and of course, I would say this for everybody: before you leave, consult a tax advisor. Whoever prepares your taxes, just talk to them. Just let them know, listen, this is on my vision board. it's a year or two out. What are some things that I need to know? Because there will be tax implications. Please do not be under the impression that if you leave the US and you're no longer working there, you're not generating income, that you don't have a tax obligation, because you absolutely do. And then again, consider domiciling in a state with no state taxes, so that that's one less thing for you to have to worry about. And here is an affirmation that I know I put this one up a long time ago, but it still rings so true. You have everything you need to create the life of your desires. You have it all. You have the skills, you got the gifts, you got the talent, you got the time, you've got the mindset. You have everything. We just have to tap into that thing and make it go. So I'm looking to see. Oh, yes. You all know Ball Girl will travel. I want to say she's in San Miguel as well, but she stays out on the road. Hi, Abba. Hey, sweet. I'm trying to make sure that I greeted everybody. Okay. So let me get over here and let's get to our next slide. So we talked about fear, and we're going to be so prepared that fear doesn't grip us. We talked about financial concerns. Everybody's concerned about that. I'm telling you, start researching today. Just start. Get you 2 folders. You know what to do. One for moving forward, one for the concerns of your home country. Create a budget, start eliminating things, and start to look at yourself in a different way. You absolutely can create income for yourself. I did it. And I had to overcome that whole mindset of I'm just a teacher. I'm just a this. This is the only way I know how to make money. No, you are a money-making machine. Trust me. You've got this, sister. Okay, so let me see. Okay, I'm going to go to our next slide. I know this was true for me. Family and personal responsibilities. Trust me, man. I think I've got 2 adult children and 4 beautiful grandsugars. And it was tough to make that decision that I am going to go all this way. I am going to be literally, not there. I'm making a conscious decision that I will not be there for so many of those milestones. And that can be tough, especially if family is important to you. That can be a tough decision, but I'm going to say this one right out front. I didn't put this quote down. You cannot live your life for others. You cannot. At some point, I had to come face to face with, hold on, this is what I need for me. I want to see the world. The little girl in me wants to go outside and play and wants to explore. She wants to see things. I have done all I can do. I raised 2 children. I raised 2 husbands, 2 dogs, I did all of that. I did everything for everybody. I was a sister, a daughter. I played all the roles. Man, let me tell you, take a breath, sister. Go get you some sunlight. Create the life of your dreams. And remember, this isn't forever. You can always go back. And I had to tell myself that. It's like, Sandra, you're not going to be gone forever. But take the time while I'm healthy, while I am of sound mind and my body. I can lug suitcases. I can run through the airport. I can do all of these things. There's no time like now. My body is, hopefully, I can maintain my, my stuff, my structure, keep it all together. But you all, I'm not getting any younger. Time isn't running in reverse. And I know that. And so I wanted to take advantage of these things now. There was never going to be a better time for me to go out and explore the world. I've always been an explorer. We laugh and joke. I think I got the name Dorothy Explorer. Yeah, because I wanted to see as a little girl. And so if that's you, I know that the decision can be riddled with guilt. Of course, there's anxiety and fear. Am I making the right choice? People are dependent on me. Trust me, the world is not going to fall apart, sis. If you go sit on a beach somewhere, if you go trekking through the mountains somewhere, they will go on. They will go on without you. They will thrive. I understand that it could be difficult If you have aging parents, if you're that sister who's kind of sandwiched in between, well, I've got college age kids and I'm got aging parents, that can be difficult, but it is not impossible to navigate. And so here's some of the things that in hindsight I wish I had done. And one is have open, honest communication. My son was not opposed to me leaving at all. He was like, "Mommy, go." Honestly, this is what he said to me. He said, "Mommy," and he says that, he said, "Mommy, you've done your work." He said, "And the spaghetti is in the refrigerator. Everybody know how to go get the spaghetti out the refrigerator. You have prepared us." And even though he was saying it in a joking way, I understood what he was saying. He was like, "Mama, you did joke. You cooked the meal, you packaged it up, you put it in the refrigerator. Them jokers could go in the refrigerator and they don't need you to do that." And so for adult children, that's a little easier to navigate. Ailing parents, that is going to take a little bit more. But I will say this: do not allow guilt, do not allow shame or any of those things to keep you from living your life. I don't think your parents would want that for you. None of your loved ones do. My daughter came around. She thought she was going to have the grandmother that took the kids on field trips, baked cookies, and did all that stuff. Well, I still got time to do that. But right now, I'm doing what Sandra needs. I am doing what my soul craves. And we've done enough. I'm going to leave that right there. We've done enough. Get outside. If you want to go outside, go outside. But do start with a conversation. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that your family members, the ones that really love you, they will understand. And the ones that don't understand, child, they weren't for you anyway. Don't worry about them. Don't worry. Don't even try to convince them. This is where, when you start communicating, you have to be careful who you're communicating with. We've said this all along. The first time I whiff and get a sniff of a naysayer, I immediately move you like 3 or 4 rows back. You are not the person I'm going to confide in. You are not the person I'm going to be seeking validation from. I'm not doing any of that stuff with you. God bless you. I will send you an update after I've executed, but you will also be able to find and sense the people who are going to support you, and more of that and less of the other. So here's some things that I do for real in practical life. You all already know. I don't even know how I've made it through this live stream without my grandson calling me. We FaceTime. Y'all, between FaceTime, WhatsApp, I probably talk to my brother for sure, more than I ever spoke to him when I was in the US. All of these technological things that you can do that keep you connected. I have been piped into funerals. I have sat literally on a video screen at baby showers, all of it, all those graduations. I attended a graduation via Zoom. We're doing those things anyway. The pandemonium changed everything. It changed the way we interact with one another. Now, is it as good as being there? No. I mean, come on now. It's nothing like being able to reach out and kiss your grandbaby. But it will ease some of that, some of those feelings around I'm going to miss out. Because I promise you, I do not feel like I've missed out. The things that probably concern me the most is if somebody passes or if somebody gets seriously ill. Those are the things that I might consider going back home for. But the rest of it, are you kidding me? You think my grandboys don't call me when they get those report cards? Are you kidding? They want that money. They aren't going to call. So establish those things ahead of time. Set up a regular time. And I think I talked with someone about this. I'm setting up a monthly call with my grandchildren where we talk about their investments. It opens up a world of other ways to connect. And so be creative. The art of writing letters, dead. No. Do you know how wonderful kids feel when they open up the mailbox and they get a card from you? There's all these opportunities, you all, to connect. So don't let that sense of, oh, I'm going to miss out, or, oh, I'm letting people down. Don't let that stop you. Trust me, you'll be okay. And if you're moving with small kids, this wasn't my experience, but Cassandra was in the chat. She's in Mexico. She's homeschooling her children. And when I tell you, those are the most wonderful children on the world, on the planet. They are so well rounded. Imagine the experience. I taught for 30 years, you all, and we did a great job at the school where I was. We did our best to give children a balanced education. Nothing like world schooling. Are you kidding me? If I had it to do over again, I would consider homeschooling my kids at some point. Certainly in the beginning, as things get more difficult, high school, but there are all kinds of things that are in place. There's online learning, of course, for children, homeschooling entire communities. So again, research. They're international schools, baccalaureate, all of these options that weren't available when my kids were younger, but they are now. So schooling and how you're going to keep up with the children's education, that should not be a deterrent either, because trust me, there are workarounds. And I personally, having taught in the system for 30 years, there's some limitations to it. I know I'm gonna make some of my teacher friends mad, but they know there's some limitations to that. There's only so much you can do. Curriculums can be confining. When you have the whole world open to your children, travel is an education in itself. So don't let that be a deterrent. We talked about planning for elderly care, investigate long distance caregiving options, enlist relatives. Unless you are the only child and there's no one there, I could see where that would be a problem. But allow somebody else to help. I think for most of us, so many of us are firstborn. We are like the responsible ones. Y'all, let somebody else help. Let somebody else help. At least give them an opportunity and ask the questions. Are you willing to support me in this way? A brother, a sister, cousins, family members. I'm going to leave that topic because it really wasn't my situation, but I know that there are people out here who are doing it. And I want to say H&D Abroad, they have some videos on this topic of what do you do when you have concerns with adult children who aren't quite adult enough to stand on their own, and you have aging or ailing parents. And so seek out that information, but do not allow that to be the thing that keeps you from getting outside. And then this is my favorite right here. Consider a trial period abroad. I think when you look at it like that, that I'm not going to be gone for forever. The world will not fall down and collapse if I'm gone for 6 months, if I'm gone for 6 weeks. Trust me, they'll figure it out. Baby, they know how to get the spaghetti out of the refrigerator. They will figure it out. But if you've prepared and you've gotten and done all the things that you can do that are in your power, you should be okay with stepping away for a little bit. And I think if you go at it with that mindset that this does not have to be forever and it don't have to be perfect when you do it, it'll give you the courage, to get out there because you can always go back home. If it doesn't work, you can always go back. Join expat groups for family support and advice. Yes, y'all, please check out Dee because I'm almost certain she's done more than one video on family concerns. And who else is out there doing family videos? Check with Dee for sure. Create a detailed emergency plan. This is one of the things I did not do before I left. And in hindsight, and I'm talking about you need a detailed emergency plan. Nobody likes to talk about it. Nobody likes to think about it. But this is one you just absolutely have to do. Your loved ones, some trusted person has to have access to your money. If something happens to you, somebody somewhere has to be able to get at accounts. So you have to have a trusted person who has your passwords, who understands where all the important papers are. Just do some work there. I don't want to tell you how to run your business, but that's one of the things I didn't do. And now I'm doing it on the back end. I'm trying to, get the kids on all the accounts and put everybody in place. Make sure you have a will. Make sure if you have a trust. All of those things I know. And that's why I'm saying, if you're prepared and if you're organized, this is definitely a folder. This is your emergency folder. Not only that, people need to know how can they get in touch with somebody in case something happens to you here, or there could be a natural disaster. You could get ill. You must have a contact person where you are, and that number must be disseminated to your trusted folks on the ground back home. And so those are things I just didn't consider. And check the chat because people will tell you exactly, all the details and things that you need to do. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure. I was just talking to my sister about aging parents. I'm definitely recommend. Yes, Dee's channel is a resource for sure. She was in here earlier. I know it's late for some of you guys, but definitely the emergency plan and on your end this way. So you want to talk about health concerns, what is going to happen. You want to make plans. You want to have insurance in place. If you're just traveling, you're on a sabbatical. Do not neglect travel insurance. If you need to be evacuated, these are the things that you want to check in your policy. So just pay attention to that whole thing around what ifs, because a what if could happen. I've been fortunate. I haven't even stubbed a toe, but I've seen things happen. Like I'm not getting on motorbikes anymore because I've seen too many people with brittle bones fall off a bike. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm walking. I'm taking a taxi. I'll jump on the back, but not like I was doing it in the beginning, because I just don't want anything to stop me from doing what the heck I'm doing. But consider your emergency plan. Keep a trusted family member back in the States in the loop. Somebody needs to know how to get to your money. What are all the passwords? Where are all the significant papers? Who's your contact person in your host country? And your host, where you are in your home country, I'm sorry, like I'm here in Thailand, there has to be someone in Thailand who has my contact information in the US. You have to make sure that you have those things. We did a wonderful thing when I was in Mexico in PDC. We created a phone tree. So if you're in a place and there's a significant expat or brothers and sisters of in that place, consider a phone tree where there are 2 or 3 people in that group who know your contact information. They know your contact back home. So if anything goes wrong, they know who to get in touch with. And your folks at home, if anything, they have any questions, they haven't heard from you in a week, they know who to call. I'm telling you, if you put all these pieces together, for me, if I had done all this stuff, you could, but it's not going to be perfect, y'all. We just do the best we can. I would have probably not been so anxious. And here's another quote that I found. The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experiences. That's what this is about for me. Getting outside is about experiences for me. I worked for 30 years. I raised kids. I raised a husband's dog. I did all of that. And it was rewarding, of course, my kids, all that was rewarding, but there's nothing like setting my own agenda every morning. If I want to go to the mountains, I go to the mountains. If I'm tired of mountains, I want to go to the ocean, I go to the ocean, because I want to have those experiences. And if you can do it with a partner or with a group of sister friends, craft your own experience, but get out. Time is not standing still, and it's not waiting on us for sure. Hey, Pamela. Okay, so let's get on with it, y'all. Okay, so let me get to the next slide. This is our final one. We're going to be out of here. What is the 4th reason some of us have, or, we've been not able to get off the sofa? We haven't been able to get out the house, or we have it's just another source of fear. It's because of lack of information and support. Period. Period. And so that's what I'm hoping this video has done for you, is to get you started to thinking, how can I organize this, make this manageable and attainable, so that I'm not overwhelmed in the process. And I'm telling you, preparation, organization, and support are just the pillars of how do you get out of the house successfully. Did y'all see that door shut? Y'all know I'm a scaredy cat. I'm a scaredy cat. What the heck? Remind me to tell y'all, a couple with a baby moved next door. A baby? I've been over here in this building, and when I tell you silence is so quiet. This baby, I had to calm myself and center myself. It's like, Sandra, you are not responsible for the baby. That baby cries. I'm like, wait a minute, it's a baby over there. My anxiety level crept up a little. I feel for them because that baby is a newborn baby and that baby cries, Lord Jesus. I was like, what is this, a baby? How dare you come in here and interrupt my peace? But I digress. Anyway, lack of information. So here's how we're going to combat all of that stuff. Again, we're talking about research. We're talking about connecting to folks who are in the know and asking questions. Do not be afraid to ask a question. Don't be afraid to get in this chat and ask somebody or connect with somebody. All of them. Attend YouTube channels. Watch your favorite YouTubers. Get in those chats. Don't sit silently. Join those Facebook groups. Don't sit silently. Ask. If people know that you're looking for that information, I'm telling you, not everybody is going to volunteer. Some things may cost. There are people who have businesses with disseminating information for move abroads and sabbaticals. Pay. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's worth it. You'll save the money on the back end. Podcast WhatsApp groups. I'm more familiar with Mexico because I spent the most time there. Tons of Facebook groups, tons of WhatsApp groups. They're on the ground and in that space. There's one for Colombia. I've been in that WhatsApp group for years now, and I've gotten a wealth of information just being in that WhatsApp group. Network with other expats, join internations, attend meetups. Oh God, yes. And accountability groups. I'll be honest with you, we weren't, I think 3 years ago when we were doing this, our planning, the Exodus Network wasn't as expansive as it is now. And we only had accountability groups. Literally, that was all we had. We weren't necessarily doing meetups, but the girlies are getting it in. Attend those meetups. They're fun, but they feed your soul and they're so encouraging. So attend a meetup, whether it's virtual or it's in person. But those in person, it's nothing like getting a hug from your sister. It's nothing like getting together and sharing tales from the road. It's just a great life. That's all I'm gonna say. And then consult professionals. This is another part that I neglected to do. I didn't know anything. I didn't have an immigration lawyer. I didn't know anything about visas. I didn't know anything. I just knew I wanted to go and I went. They're relocation experts. All of these things I think have propped up more in the last 5 to 10 years because people are leaving the US in droves. If for Mexico, I have an immigration lawyer that I use. If you need one, let me know. I don't, she don't know me. I don't know her. She did the work for me. It was seamless. I'm willing to share. There are other people who are willing to share, but you don't know what you need if you don't know what you need. You definitely, if you're thinking about going someplace and getting permanent residency or temporary residency, you could probably do some of the paperwork alone. But for me, in a foreign language, in a foreign country, I'm just going to pay the lawyer. Visa specialist, pay the people, pay them the money. They're worth it. And then relocation. I have mixed feelings about relocation experts, to be honest with you. If your budget is so tight that that's going to cut into it, it may take you some time to plan it, but you could do some of that work. But if money isn't an issue, pay somebody. It'll be such a pleasant experience. Pay the relocation experts, but do your due diligence in researching too, because some provide better service than others. Create a support network. Find a move abroad buddy. All of those accountability buddies. I found so many people that I know in this circle that they know the people I know because they were accountability buddies. I'm not gonna name names, but I can't tell you how many times I've been in a conversation with a travel sister and she's like, oh yeah, such and such is my accountability partner. I'm like, oh my God, we know the same people. Your circle begins to just kind of envelop you. It begins to just kind of wrap itself around you. The more you talk, the more you make your desires known to the universe. I'm telling y'all, this stuff is not woo-woo. It works. I'm telling you, it works. I worked it. And you'll find yourself knowing this person who knows that person, and we're all connected because it's a big community, but it's a tight-knit community. Start a blog, start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, start talking about it. That's for me is an extension of the visualization. I'm telling you, this is how the universe works. You don't have to believe me, just try it. What you focus on is what you draw. If you focus on and see yourself in your space, your desired country, positively living, thriving, and you're talking about it, those other people, hey, Dr. Linda, those people will find you. But if you're sitting back, just kind of being an observer, you're not, you can get there, but it's going to take you longer. Talk about it, vlog about it. And again, we talked about being careful who you talk to. But when you're talking out in space like this, can't nobody get to you, girl. I'll be out here talking about, I am telling about the joys of it. I also talk about the darker sides of it too. If you all haven't seen Positively Prill's last video, she did a video about some of the darker sides of this soft life, because it is a soft life. Don't get me wrong. It's a soft life, but there are things and considerations with anything. There are positives and negatives with anything. But if you focus on those positive things, at least putting that energy out, trust me, you will attract that back to you. It multiplies. It multiplies. So start visualizing yourself in the space. Start talking about the space. Start your YouTube channel. You do not have to be an expert. Stephanie Perry said you just need to know more than the person standing behind you. That's all. Join your online forums. Reddit. Does anybody use Reddit? I do. It pops into my mailbox. So join expat forums, all of those stuff. And of course, we talked about attend virtual and in-person webinars, expat events. Making the right connections is going to be key. And this is an old African proverb. I know you guys have heard it. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that is probably been one of the greatest benefits for me. I'm definitely an introvert, so I can thrive in a space by myself. But having a sister friend, having a sister circle of travelers, of expats, digital nomads, priceless, has made my experience that much more rich. Bumping into my sisters out in the world, child, I could cry. Don't make me cry. I could cry. The joy that we feel when we finally meet up and we get a chance to hug and share stories and help each other in our travels. Like, sis, where did you stay? What did you like? What not to do? How do I spend, what's the most efficient way to spend this money? Priceless. Do not try to do this life alone. Don't try to do it alone. It's so much richer when you have folks around you supporting you. I'm telling you, that's it. And I'm trying to think, did I leave anything out? Let me just check my notes right quick. Oh, the last one was mindset and dealing with naysayers, because they will come. And I'm just going to read to you. And this is how we started. So we might as well end the way we started. And we started with a gratitude quote. We started with an abundance quote. And so from my notes, I wrote, start a daily gratitude practice. Invaluable. If it's nothing more, before my feet hit the floor, and I'm a believer, you don't have to believe what I believe, it's one for everybody. Before my feet even hit the floor, I run through 10 things, or as many things as I can, that I'm thankful for. As many things as I'm thankful for. So generally, I start out with, I'm thankful, first of all, Lord, that I woke up and I opened my eyes. This sun is shining. I can see this mountain. Nobody called me overnight. The kids are all safe. My grandbabies are safe. I can talk to people. I got running water. I got a hot shower. I got food. Start a gratitude practice. Transformational. Create a list of 5, the top reasons why you want to move abroad. So that we're talking about our mindset and getting our mind ready for this upcoming journey. But I would definitely start with a gratitude practice. Develop a script for naysayers with positive, firm responses to common criticisms. Why are you doing that? What you running from? If I had a nickel for every time somebody asked me, what you running from? Ooh, that used to irk me. Oh, that was a trigger for me. Have a pat response. Is that called gray rocking? I think it is. I don't know what gray rocking is, but I think it's where you just have this response and you don't let anything permeate and you say the same thing over and over again. The same thing, same response. When you hear a naysayer, when they come up with those things, well, why are you doing this? Or who you running from? Or what's the point? What about the have a set response. Do not let it trigger you. Do not get emotionally involved with those people and limit your exposure to those negative influences. That's why I said identify them right up front and be quick about it. I'm very swift. It's like in, out, in, out, in, out. I don't second guess it. You only have to show me once. Maya Angelou says, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. You don't need to tell me, you don't need to deposit that negativity over here 3-4 times before I believe that that's who you are. That's who you are. Because positive people don't move like that. We don't talk like that to one another. Get the positive folks over here, get them naysayers over there, have a pat elevator speech. This is all you're getting. And stop telling them details and don't look to them for validation because it's never coming. Find inspirational quotes that keep you going. There, you can Google this, get you about 50 good quotes. Y'all go back and watch some of those beginning videos, and I'm going to bring that back. I'm going to start our videos with an abundance quote and an abundance affirmation. Have those on hand. I know it sounds silly, but it's free. It's easy. You're going to have to encourage yourself. You're going to have to build that muscle up of pouring into you. It's a form of self-care for me. That gratitude journal, and if y'all not journaling, y'all better get over there with Kathy Hampton. She journals every morning. It's like magic for the soul. Don't say you didn't hear it. I'm trying to tell y'all what a medicine is. Practice self-affirmations. We talked about that. Identify your fears. We talked about that. Do not trying to avoid fear is like trying to keep a beach ball underwater. We do not have time. That's an act of futility. Trying to keep a ball. No. Acknowledge the fear. Embrace the fear. Let that joker ride. You can ride with me, but you just can't control where we're going. You could be here. That's okay. Fear, you could be here because that's just a normal part of this journey. But you don't get to run roughshod over where I'm going. You don't get to take the wheel. You can ride, but you don't get to take the wheel. So we're going to do those things for ourselves to mitigate some of that fear. We talked about creating a support circle and consider working with a life coach. I did all of those things. Yolanda Evolved helped me along this journey. Of course, I keep my therapist on speed dial, but those are all the things that I think that will help you with mindset and dealing with naysayers. And if you get tired along the way, if you're discouraged or any of that doubt starts to creep in, you want to have something that you can replenish yourself with, you can refuel with, you can bolster your own, encourage yourself. There's a whole song, don't get me started. So yeah. That's it. I think that's all I got for today, y'all. We did it. And we coming right in at our little 90 minutes, which is perfect. So I'm going to roll and scroll real quickly through the chat because I miss y'all. Okay, so let me just see. So I think I said hi to everybody. Oh, so let me roll through and tell y'all the good news reports, and then we're out of here. Maya Spikes writes, who's in the chat. I'm not sure if she's still here. Maya just released a journal. You all go look on my Facebook page and I'll be posting it and support a sister. We talked about journaling. Go get Maya's journal. Hers is a writer's journal though. But I'm telling you, if you're a writer and you're interested, go check out Maya's journal. Nicole J. Butler, one of the funniest women I know. So entertaining. Please check out her channel. And her mom, Nicole's got her hand in a whole bunch of things. I'm not sure that they have a podcast set up, but it feels like a podcast. She and her sister they have teamed up on her YouTube channel. So get over there. I promise you will laugh. C-Temp is in the chat. That's our trading Niji, the trading Niji. Her real name is Kenithia, but affectionately known as C-Temp. Check her out if you're interested in learning to trade a high probability trade strategy, credit spreads. And she has a beginning trading course as well. And I've been trying to get Zakia's in the chat. I don't know if she's still here. I've been trying to get Zakia to get on board. Zakia is a whole businesswoman in herself, but she's a very busy woman right now. I understand, but so full of talent. I'm just scrolling through. We talked about big up yourself. Let me put this up there. That's my sister, Winsome. She is full of encouragement. Winsome is all about self-love, about not, I wouldn't even call it self-promotion, but when she says pub yourself up, she means that. We talked about, oh, my good sis, Yvette Boone Creates. The Plant Whisperer is in the house. Y'all get over there and check out her channel as well. H&D Abroad. I'm going to put Dee's channel up. That's Dee and her husband Herman, and they talk a lot about family things. She's got adult children, and I believe they may have aging parents. I think Dee may be caught in that situation. So they do great content about family and moving abroad as a couple. So if that applies to you, now you got someplace to go. Let's see who else is in here with us. If you have a YouTube channel, please put it in the chat and I will shout you out. I think I got everybody. Mara Love, did I forget anybody? Katrina has a YouTube channel too. Katrina Michelle. You can catch her on YouTube. You can catch her on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if Global Granny has a YouTube channel yet. You know I'm encouraging all my friends. Get in the game. Let's see who else is in here. I'm just scrolling, trying to make sure I didn't miss any questions either. I'm getting into freedom. If that's not a YouTube channel, it should be. Nicole, Global Granny. I'm almost at the end, y'all. Mara wasn't here today, but let's talk about it with Mara. It's another YouTube channel that I love. Mara's so transparent, man. She was getting them straight. Reset with Celeste. You can buy it again if you find that you really need it. I think that's it. I think I got everybody. If I didn't, you know what to do. Charge it to my head and not my heart. We Rise and Thrive Consulting. That has to be a YouTube channel or a business at least. Y'all check her out. I'm going to post it up just so you can see it. We Rise and Thrive Consulting. This is how we help each other. Get your sister's name out there. It costs me nothing to say my sister's name. I've been studying and reading about trading. Oh, here's a question. I just want to make sure I got to it. I've been studying and reading about trading, but even the paper trading has been confusing so far. Nichelle, join us. Either get with From Lack to Legacy, our 1,000 Black Women Brokerage Account Challenge, where we help you set up a brokerage account. We help you set up your trading platform, and then we get you connected with a community of women who are doing the exact same thing you're doing every week. Right now, we're studying, we're in a book study, Your Money or Your Life. And so we do that. And then we talk about active trading and investing. So you don't have to do it alone, sister. We are here. And then CTEMP does beginning options trading, and she has an advanced strategy class. So if you're into that, we got something for you. I said Yvette. Okay, I think I got everybody. Not to be forgotten, I don't think I got a chance to greet you. That's my homegirl. She's from near Chicago. Please don't forget, if you're here and you aren't subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Y'all, we're coming up on, I think we hit 250,000 views. Can you believe that? 250,000 views. And so we're on a quest to get a million views. We're knocking on 3,500 subscribers. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Little channel started out in Mexico in my kitchen. Who knew? Who'd have ever thunk it? And I think that, hey, Elle. I didn't get a chance to say hi to Elle. Okay. I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it. I think we did it too. And we got it in an hour and a half. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is we got another live coming up. I'm working on a collaboration with Dr. Robin and Positively Prill. And we're talking about, of course, this is a soft life. And of course, we're chasing our joy and all of those things. But you all, there's some other things that I think need to be talked about that. Hi, Alicia. I just love these people. You know, I feel so blessed. This is a blessed life. I didn't say it was perfect. I didn't say it was without stress. I didn't say any of those things. Oh, but when I tell you, start with gratitude. That's all I have. That's the biggest. If you don't take away anything else, we talked about the four things that keep us from moving forward in our dreams to either move abroad or to take that sabbatical. We talked about those four obstacles, but we also talked about the solutions and what you can do to actively move past those obstacles. And I'm going to start and end with one that I think it's the linchpin, and it's your mindset, and it's an attitude of gratitude, being grateful. I promise you it all stems from there, because gratitude unlocks abundance. It really does. It clears your eyes so that you can see just how abundantly you've been living all along. But when consumerism and capitalism step in, and when you're comparing, and all those things are the thieves of joy. And so I want to equip you and encourage you to start with gratitude. Start your day there. Hey, Chef B, thank you for joining us. Okay. And on that note, folks, look for this collab with me and Positively Prill and Dr. Robin. She's going to talk about some of the sleep challenges. Yes, you may have some sleep challenges when you relocate to your dream space. That was the case for me. And so we're going to talk about some of those challenges that people don't always talk about. And then we have another live coming up. The 1st of September, where I'm going to be talking to two sisters from Colombia. And we're going to be talking about alternative ways to make money. How are folks making money out here in the world? And so we're going to be talking about, if you're interested in moving abroad and you're concerned about money, join us on September the 1st, Sunday, September 1st at 8:00 p.m. We'll be talking about alternative ways to make money out in the world. And then, we got some good stuff coming up. So that's it for now, folks. I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, folks. Thank you, Meryl Love. Thank you. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, Reset with Celeste. Yes, please drop your links in the chat, y'all. Bye, Global Granny. Bye, Dr. Linda. These are my friends. I'm telling you, there are no subscribers here. This is our family. Bye, Nicole. Bye, Zakia. Bye, Abba. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, loves.